we would continue. So you're looking at May, June 2006, right? May, June 2006. I'm going to try and do as many papers as possible today, so I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do one recent, one old paper from the past, and we will go like that. All right, one, the term trade refers to term trade. Guys there? Right, that's correct. Any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services. Very good. Two, which of the following types of business environments is most typical of the Commonwealth Caribbean? And for this one, you get what? Mixed economy. Yeah. So moving forward. Three, a person who has the ability to seek out and undertake the risk of new business opportunities is referred to as. What do you get for this one? An entrepreneur. One is. Let me just scroll back up. Trade, C. Any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services or services. Right? C. No problems. So we're going again. Number 4, in a public limited company, the losses are borne by the shareholders. Yeah? Yep. 5, in which of the following types of economic systems does the government make all the decisions? We have mixed capitalist command subsistence. Yes, that is correct. C, command economy, right? Government makes all decisions in terms of allocation of resources and production, what should be produced and who it should be allocated to. 6, which of the following is not an activity in the planning process? Planning process. Setting goals, identifying resources, delegating responsibility. All of that sounds like the planning process. Establishing of policies might come a bit later. Quality control. Yeah, everybody right with that one? 6B. Well, what's the activities in your planning process? You had to set goals. When you're planning, you had to know who you're delegating to. They wouldn't really establish policies in the planning process. Think about if you that's a good example to use for it. If you're setting up a business, right? You're going to do your business plan. Um, you had to set your goals in terms of, even if it is in terms of achieving a target. Let's say we have a manufacturing company, right? And pandemic happened, we have a drop in sales, and what they want to do is the goal is to cut costs by 5%, right? In the planning part of the process now, your goal initially was set. You want to cut costs by 5%. Um, from that now you need to identify, well, what was your resources you need to achieve that goal, right? When you identify that, remember, the people that are having this discussion is at a high level of management, right? This is senior management and above. They are not the ones that are going to be actually um, executing that. They will have to delegate who that's going to be done. It will go down to a tier to the other managers, and then managers to supervisors to others. In terms, while they're doing that now, they need to identify what would be the resources to achieve the goal. Nowhere inside of that process now you're going to be establishing a policy. The policy may come from a different department, quality control. Planning process is something more managerial. I'm going to let's look at it. Let me see. Let's see what they have listed here as activities for planning. I'll clear that up. Some of these questions I noticed, they have the way in which they're worded. Sometimes there's one in accounts, right? With the profits, what should be posted to the profit and loss account for stationery. And some people had these answer sheets and they had the 120 and they had another answer 220. And it's really how the question was interpreted. I mean, somebody could say if you look at the stationery as inventory, then it should be the 120. And then somebody would say, well, um, no, they're talking about expenditure here. So if you didn't use, if you paid 220 towards it, if you pay 220 towards it, then yeah, that's the expense you have to match according to a close concept. All right, so listen to this, right? Planning is the management function concerned with defining goals for future organizational performance and deciding on the tasks and resources needed to attain them. A plan is a blueprint that states what resources, human and non-human, are needed, how these resources will be allocated, and when they'll be used up. Listen to this. Top managers begin the planning process by developing mission statements. This statement outlines the philosophy of the organization and explains the reasons for the organization's existence. Right? So you always start with the mission statement. Then they go to strategic goals, which are broadly statements of what the organization wants to achieve and are developed from the mission statement. And from that, they go to tactical objectives. These are derived from the strategic goals. Tactical objectives are statements that define the outcomes that divisions and departments must achieve in order to meet the organizational goals. These are followed by operational objectives, which are specific, measurable results expected from the departments, work groups, or individuals within the organization. Right? So in the planning process, you already have policies. Where I think policies may come in? Policies may come back more in terms of the controlling part of your activities, right? Because this is functions of management we're talking here, right? Controlling now is the function monitoring employees' activities, determining whether the organization is on target, um, standards are set and the actual outputs is compared against set standards. Information systems are used to advise managers on performance, right? Even inside the coordinating as well, you would find more of that stuff, right? So that's what I'm saying for this one. Setting of goals is more related to the plan process, identifying resources and delegating responsibilities. The establishing policy is a little too far off um, in terms of what would be involved in the planning process. That make some sense? For one, if you're alright with that. You're good? Nice. Shana, you alright there too? To move on. You still lost? Why is that? In the planning process, alright, if you're gonna plan, if you are responsible for planning the restoration of a office or something, right? You would sit with the client and you set goals. How long it's gonna take, what the cost is gonna be at. Um, you need to identify the resources in terms of material stuff. Delegating, yeah, definitely. If you're gonna plan a party, right? Think about if you're planning an event at home. You have delegate responsibility as an important part of the planning process. Who's going to do what? You understand? You must any manager that's responsible for a unit. A main part of their planning process is delegating because you need to know. Remember, you're talking division or labor here. Who is going to do what in order to achieve this broad aim or this specific goal that you are tasked with? So you need to put people in specific roles that they're best suited for, and then apart from that, too, they be held accountable for the responsibility they're given. So you have to delegate responsibility in your planning process to know who to go to if it is you're looking for feedback on this item or that item. Make sense? You wouldn't, when you're planning, you wouldn't really sit down to do the policies at that point because you need to plan, execute, and then you'll have a feedback loop where you might be able now to see, well, what worked, what didn't work. And from that now, the policies might come in a bit later. Policies here sounds a bit more HR related, more quality control related as opposed to management here. Planning process, you're talking about more strategic type management at a high level. Make sense? If they didn't put policies, no, they would still be correct. Those three things there are definitely activities in the planning process. And in order of it, you'd have to set goals first, identify resources, and then delegate responsibility. That's for certain. The other parts might be like actual execution and then coming back to see to like a feedback loop now to give feedback in terms of how the goals might be better adjusted. There's a diagram for it. I'll see if I find it and send it in the group. The planning process is a circular process. It's not something that linear, meaning that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it finish. The planning process is more of a circle because you'd have a feedback loop after delegate responsibility and you start execute. You might realize that you might have to adjust something with your goals. It might be too realistic or it might be a bit short-sighted in the sense that I might need to make it a bit bigger. Yeah. So we're moving on, right? Lloyd is a manager of LM Limited. He holds regular staff meetings to listen to ideas from employees before making decisions that would affect the future of the company. What leadership style does Mr. Lloyd employ? Yep, he listens to ideas from the employees before making decisions. So not laissez-faire, democratic will be better here. Laissez-faire is he would leave everybody to make their own decisions. But here he's listening to the ideas first before making decisions that would affect the future of the company. So this is more democratic than laissez-faire. Yeah? 8. Selecting the objectives and the procedures for achieving goals is referred to. Yeah, see? Objectives and procedures. Steps. The procedures wouldn't necessarily be policies. I think that's what might be confusing here there. Policies and procedures. Again, CXC is use words in these kind of weird ways. Which of the following demonstrates the characteristic of a good leader? Inspiring workers. Yeah, I would say all of them. Yeah, agreed. All three. 10. Under which of the following categories would subsidized meals for employees fall? We've seen this. These are fringe benefits. They give you subsidized meal, food vouchers. Yeah. 11. Which of the following activities carried out in a firm will not be under the supervision of the marketing manager? Which activity here? It's right. B. Purchasing. Right? That'll be under logistics and supply chain or the purchasing department. 12. An entrepreneur who wants to maintain control of the business will be advised to register the business as B. Sole trader. You have the most control there. Very good. 13. Which of the following is a regulatory issue for the entrepreneur? Yep, that's correct. C. Regulatory. Pay national insurance to the government. 14. The most important use of collateral security to the lender. Is that it? Always read these questions, because they could switch it around. They're tricky like that. Yes, that's correct. B could be seized if the borrower fails to pay. Excellent. 15. Which of the following is not an example of an unethical business practice? Not an example, so we're negating this. So we're looking for ethical ethical business practice. Yes, that's correct. Retrenching, right? Could retrench workers like Petrotrin. 16, a post-dated check is one which is dated for payment at a future date. Yeah, seen this many times. Not bad. Which of the following reasons can be used for voiding a contract? A, 1 and 2. No consideration, no meeting minds. Yep, that's correct. Very good. A contract may be discharged by, which one is this? Misappropriation, breach. Remember we had to do this? We had look at this. The contract will become void, I said, by misappropriation. And it could be discharged by breach. Yeah. Discharge means come to an end. Right? The misappropriation means that it's void because there's it didn't meet certain conditions. So example of the misappropriation might be if you went into a contract with a minor, right? It wouldn't be discharged, it'd be voided because the not everybody there was yeah, not everybody there was legally able to enter into the contract. Discharge now, a contract could be discharged by breach. It could be discharged if it comes to an end. It could be discharged for performance, lapse of time. All of those would be examples of where, hey, when you hear the word discharge, you want to think about how could it end pretty much, right? And it could end favorably or unfavorably, right? So breach would be the answer for this one. 19. Fred and his friends went to the cinema. On his way out, Fred fell and was injured. What type of insurance would protect the owner of the cinema against claims made by Fred? So this is owner's type of insurance here. Right, and Fred would be a member of the public. So I think, yeah, B, public limited. Very good. 20. Which of the following types of checks allows an individual to receive cash on demand? Means immediately. Yep, correct. Open check. 21. To which of the following industries does a firm involved in food processing belong? Food processing. Yep, D. Manufacturing. Think about like your matuks and stuff, your jams, your jellies, your peanut butter, some manufacturing type industries. 22. Joseph has decided to leave his homeland of Jamaica to go to the USA in search of a better life. This movement is referred to as D. External migration. Right? External migration. Mr. Jones receives a job offer from a company in Barbados. In order to take up this new job, Mr. Jones decides to leave his home country from Trinidad and move permanently to Barbados. In Trinidad, Mr. Jones would have been referred to as emigrant or immigrant. Yes, emigrant. Right, because he's leaving. Very good. 24. One feature of capital-intensive firms is that they more machinery and less people. Very good. 25. Which of the following conditions would constitute a linkage between two industries? Yep, the output of one, input of the other. Very good. 26. Which of the following results in least likely to occur from growth in an organization. Yeah, it's a common one as well. Increased communication. That's not going to happen. 27. Which of the following commodities is a product of the manufacturing industry? Yes, cars. Think about the assembly lines. E. Very good. 28. The term loss leader is best described as a product which C is sold cheaply to attract customers. 29. Under which of the following conditions is a trade discount used? Please give this to our from payment. We give this to like our debtors, right, or our customers. Rather, that's a better word. I wouldn't say debtors. Forget debtors. Customers, right? Preferred or favored customers buy in large quantities. Right? You wanna encourage them to continue coming to you, so you get them a 20% off, or 5% off, a 10% off. So you keep them, yeah. So bulk purchases, that's what you use that for. 30. Which of the following is not a terms of sale? So think you could sell stuff for cash, you could sell stuff for credit, you could sell stuff on hire purchase. Yeah. 29. No, 29 is A. Bulk purchases, trade discount. So trade discount, you have, remember from accounts, you have the trade discount, right? And then you have the discount allowed. Trade discount happens at the time of purchase on the invoice. And you usually give trade discounts to people that are buying large quantities. Right? It's like I'm a hardware and Christiana is a like a she has a contracting company. So when she comes to buy stuff from me, she not buying like one bucket of paint and two bags of cement and things. She coming for two pallets of cement. Or when she buying steel for entire building. So the volume or the quantity of her purchase is a lot, right? In comparison to, let's say John comes to buy from me and John's just doing a little fix up at home. So he just wants a bucket of paint, a paintbrush, right? A rolling thing. So I would charge him whatever is the selling price, my full selling price that I have there, unless there's a sale going on or something, as you said. Christiana, on the other hand, now, because she's buying such a volume, I might say, no, Christiana, you give us so much of business and thing, and your business and thing, when we do an invoice for you, your invoice going into the tens of thousands, 60,000, 70,000. Take a 5% off of your whatever the total cost of your invoice is. That's a trade discount. Now, further to that, we might say if you clear off your bill in 30 days, because the volume of stuff Christiana taking, we give her credit. So she's allowed 30 days credit. She could take stuff and pay for 30 days. If she paid off in 15 days, we give her 15 days. We're giving her additional 2% off. The additional 2% is a discount allowed that we use to in accounts. This initial trade discount on the original invoice at the time of purchase is her trade discount, and it's because she does bulk purchases. Okay? The discounts allowed will be for prompt payment, as the 2% happening after. Make sense? So 29 will be E, bulk purchases. Nice. 30, which of the following is not a terms of sales? 30 will be C, shares. Yeah? 31. Which of the following factors is least likely to influence consumer behavior? Yeah, first one. Least likely to influence consumer behavior. Yep, place of residence. Very good. A situation where a business gains editorial space without having to pay for it is called publicity. Very good. City 3. The price of an article is usually high when there's a small quantity for sale and many people wanting to buy it. Yep, that's correct. Like right now, my wife for the last couple of months, anytime she go to Pennywise, she picking up like 2, 3 bottles of hand sanitizer. So it's like, why are you buying so much hand sanitizers? She's like, wait until you see school reopen in September. And then hand sanitizers should go scarce and they'll start selling for $40 and thing again. So true, eh? 34. In a Caribbean territory, there's only one supplier that provides electricity to all homes, businesses, and communities. What market structure does this best illustrate? Yep, monopoly. And that's usually the case with those service providers. Very good. 35. Which of the following terms is associated with a stock market? Stock market. Yep, that's right. Risk and benefits. Sometimes they would say risk and reward. 36. Tom invests his savings by buying shares in a company. From this investment, Tom expects to receive T dividends. 37. Mr. Jones has several bills of fixed amounts to pay each month. His bank agreed to pay them monthly from Mr. Jones's account. This service provided by the bank is referred to as, yep, that's a standing order. 38. One of the major functions of a central bank is to issue notes and coins. Very good. 39. Point Z on the diagram represents what? You have supply and demand intersecting at that point. Yes, equilibrium point. Right, that's the point at which demand is equal to supply. Very good. The equilibrium price is, what's the equilibrium price? Price is on my y-axis. So if I just scoot across to the left, I would see, what would I see? I would see the number 4. Yeah, so that's correct. Very good. 41. In which of the following measures may be used by a government to protect consumers? Price control. Price control is definitely correct. Provisions or subsidies, I would agree with. Custom duties. I can't see that protecting the consumer, because custom duty is going to be charges on goods coming into the country. You increase the custom duties, or I mean, any type of custom duty is actually going to make the item a bit more expensive for the customer, because the people that bringing it in to sell to the consumers, they would usually transfer that cost to the consumer. They wouldn't absorb that. If you order something online and buying something in Trinidad, the cost you pick up the cost of the item, right? Whatever profit margin the seller is making on it, as well as the charges for delivery and customs and stuff like that. So for this one, I would say B. So better answer. 1 and 3, price controls, right? Because the government could say, well, this is not to sell above this particular price, right? And then they could provide subsidies, like what they did with fuel in Trinidad for so many years. Yeah. So B for 41. 42. Governments can influence business activity positively by reducing, we know this one, taxes. 43. Which of the following is not regarded as a rule of taxation? Influence the investment decisions of publicly owned enterprises. Yeah. 44. Which of the following actions by government is most likely to lead to an improvement in the standard of living? D. Tax incentives to businesses stimulate growth. 45. Which of the following statements accurately describes taxation as a means of redistributing incomes? Taxation as a means of redistributing income. C. Yeah, that's the most appropriate answer. Right, to spread income evenly between the 46. Which of the following best explains a proportional tax? Yep, same rate of tax paid for all income levels is a good one. Right, remember I'd show you the others as well. Regressive and progressive. 47. The country's balance of trade. Right, always remember balance of trade is the difference between your imports and your exports. So what we have here? 460. 260. Exports will be positive, this will be negative. Yep, what we got here? Wait, sorry. Balance of trade. Yeah, D, 200. Total exports and imports, yeah? Everybody okay with that one? Yes. I'll see the answers, the stock of it. 48. In calculating net national product, depreciation refers to depreciation. Depreciation means I drop in. Yep, that's it. Decreasing the capital stock value. The opposite of this one was investment. We'd see that in some other papers. Addition to capital stock. 49. Which of the following practices would contribute to the economic growth and development of our country? Yes, that's correct. Loans and technical assistance for establishing local businesses. Hopefully, we should see some more. Export licenses are issued mainly to. Yes, control the flow of goods. Right, you know what's happening there. 51. A measure which limits the quantity of goods that citizens of a country are allowed to buy from overseas is known as a quantity, yeah? Yes, import quota. Very good. 52. Which of the following does not contribute to an improved standard of living? Not contributing to improved standard of living. C. An increase in the country's population. Yeah, because I mean more competition for resources. Right, capital goods as good. Right, as like an investment or to stimulate growth, things that you would be able to earn income from. Increasing disposable income now would push your standard of living up. That would indicate growth as well. Investment in technology, yeah, because you get overall healthier people, you have more business taking place. This one, though, increasing population means that we're gonna have to spread things. Hi, Kristen. We're gonna have to spread things across a bigger denominator, so you have less stuff available. How you guys doing? Everybody good? Kyla, Kristen. 53. Which of the following is an example of tariffs? We'll have for this one. Tariffs. I think I have some note that I wanted to give you all on taxes and anybody? Tariffs would be custom duties. Yeah. Let's look at really good. Let's look at 54. Visible trade examines the difference between a country's what? Visible trade is a keyword here. Visible trade would be the difference between our imports and exports of goods only. E. Yep, very good. 55. The term economic dualism, another one now we see pretty often, refers to an economy in which one sector is advanced and the other is behind. D. Technologically advanced and the other is technologically retarded. 56. Which of the following is a benefit of the CSME? CSME? You know this one? LBE, Common Trade Policy. CSME is the Caribbean Single Market and Economy. Right? It's a trade policy that allow the member states of the Caribbean to allow the movement of goods, services, and people. So if you want to go on, if you are a professional, meaning that you have a degree or qualification in a particular area, and there's a need for jobs with that type of expertise somewhere within the Caribbean in a member state of the CSME, you could go there without having to get like a visa, and the hassle will be a lot less. It also works like that for goods and services where they allow goods to move across borders without having to pay a lot of duties and tariffs. Right? So it's a common trade policy, CSME. 57. The purpose of the CARICOM. Purpose of the CARICOM. B, yeah. And that's what the CSME is. Right? It's like a step up from our CARICOM. Caribbean Single Markets and Economy. before the CARICOM, I guess it was just more goods. The CSMAs allow the movement of people as well. So kind of like what the EU has. 58. Which of the following organizations would settle a dispute among banana producing countries of the Caribbean and Central America over preferential agreements with the European Union? Yeah, World Trade Organization. Very good. 59. In a period of inflation, the ability to raise additional capital for expansion is most likely to be a problem for whom? Yeah, for sole traders. 60. Industrialization is an important strategy in the fight against poverty. Which of the following is a benefit of an increase in the development of industries? Industries. We develop industries. Yeah, that's very good. B. If we develop industries locally, and I mean that's what you're gonna see a lot now gonna happen in a lot of economies, because of this whole pandemic thing, you have a lot less movement of goods and services. So you might find that you're gonna have to develop your own local industries. Let's look at another. So you're going back now, you're going back to 2002. Right? The fact that more than one type of economic system exists in the world today is attributable mainly to the fact that what we have here, B. People of different countries have different religious and D. Different methods could be used to solve the same economic problem. Right? The economic systems is a different type of planned economy, command economy, those different type of economies, and different methods solving the same economic problem, which is the allocation of scarce resources. Make sense? All of them gonna do it. It's just how they do it. Yeah. Two, which of the following changes will not necessarily result from a decision to have employees specialize? Right? Specialism, increased standardization of goods, that makes sense. Improvement in efficiency of labor, yes, that makes sense as well. Increased production, that makes sense as well. Improvement in working conditions, I don't think that have anything to do with specialization. So you go with C for this one. 3. Private enterprise is run mainly to, why we run private enterprise? Because we want to create profits. Very good. 4. A public limited company in the private sector is normally established by public limited company in the private sector as like a PLC. What do you need for a PLC? Established. D. Registration under the Companies Act. Like you have to go to legal affairs and register the business. Yeah. 5. A joint stock company issued 10,000 $2 6% shares at a premium of 12.5%, all of which were fully subscribed and duly paid up. How much money will be recorded as share capital? Let's not calculate. What do I get for this one? So $2, 10,000, 20,000 multiplied by B. Actually, it's D for this one, right? Because that is a premium of 12.5%. They didn't give it at par value. So what you have to do is the 2 by 10,000 shares, 20,000, and then you're adding 12.5% of it to this. So what I would do is I would multiply this by 112.5%. Right? The easy way to do that is just use a calculator. But you know percent is this over 100, so just shift the point, multiply by 1.125. And that should give you D. Right? Because it's at a premium. You're not getting to pay just the $2 alone, you're paying $2 plus a 12.5%. Everybody understand that? Drop a one if you do. So again now. Alright. 2 by 10,000 multiplied by 1.125. Alright, you could also do it like this, long way. Take your 20,000 and multiply it by 12.5%. So another way to do that is multiply by 12.5 first, then divide by 100. And if you do that, 20,000 multiplied by 12.5 divided by 100 will give me $2,500. That $2,500 is not 12.5%. That's the extra money I get in apart from the $20,000, which is the 10,000 shares by $2. Right? Another way you could look at it too is you could find the 12.5% of the $2 and just find what's the price that they paying per share with the premium on it. So they're actually paying $2.25. Yeah, $2.25 per share instead of $2. Yeah. So D for this one. Yeah, added back. Nice. 6. Broad policies for public and private companies in the private sector are formulated by who? Policies here. Yeah, the board of directors. Very good. 7. Which of the following can be regarded as a benefit to Caribbean countries from the establishment of multinational corporations? Right, this is like your Coca-Cola and your Nestle, your BP. What do they provide? Benefit, eh? Repatriation of profit is not really a benefit. That would be more of a kind of disadvantage. Yep, that's correct, Alex. Hey, what's up? Employment. They provide employment to the locals. Like they hire on all them places. Which of the following are the financial functions of a business organization? Financial, right? You're talking money here. Money type activities. Everything with the exception of advertising. Advertising is a marketing activity. payment as accounts, who's gonna do the payments, who's gonna do the budgeting, who's gonna cost activities. Those are all accounts. So B, financial. Yeah, very good. Moving forward. Number 9, which of the following is least likely to result from the growth in our organization? You know this, increased communication. It's not going to happen. Sorry, my God. Increased communication is not going to happen. A major role of trade unions is to encourage what? Advancement of the welfare of its members. That's what the trade union going, not to strike, not what's in the style. They want to seek the betterment for their members, collective bargaining, better fringe benefits, better rates, good vacation packages, things like that. 11, for employees to produce to their maximum, which of the following is important? Yeah, for this one. B, 1 and 3, suitable working conditions, good human relationships. Yep, very good. It's perfect. 12, Mr. Jimmer, the general manager of Z Company, never discusses problems with workers or listens to the suggestions from his employees. His leadership style could be described as authoritarian. Yeah? He doesn't want anybody getting involved in making decisions. He's making all decisions on his own. It's authoritarian type. 13. Which of the following management practices would contribute to the success of a business? Pricing at a maximum markup. Paying attention to the quality of goods and services sold. That's an important one. Communicating with employees. That's an important one. Earning maximum profits for the owners. That's the same as pricing as a maximum markup. B, 2 and 3. Yeah. 14. Which of the following responsibilities must be assumed by the management of a company? Responsibilities to the management. Maximizing efficiency, creating surplus, maintaining good communications and human relations, producing goods of marketable quality, determining the dividends to be paid to shareholders. What you all have for this one? For this one, I have 1, 2, and 4. Management will directly be responsible for the producing of the goods. This would be more of a um, production responsibility. You wouldn't see this listed under management responsibilities. Yeah. Yeah, that's not direct responsibility for the management. If you look at the responsibilities that you would have that would fall under management, um, this one is not directly underneath the management. They would ensure that you have standards to go by, but the actual producing of the goods that would fall more under your production department. So C, right, maximizing efficiency and creating surplus as a manager is definitely a responsibility. Good communications and human relations to both internal and external customers, and they're the ones that are going to determine how profit should be split up. Yeah. 15. A laissez-faire leader could be described as one who stays in the background. That sounds more like it. Yep, C, stays in the background and allows subordinates to make their own decisions. 16. If the opening stock figure was overstated by 1500, the effect on net profit would be you have an overstatement of your opening stock. What would happen to the net profit? Put more opening stock than we should have. Increase 1500. A higher opening stock would mean a bigger cost of sales figure, right? Sales. If sales is 20, right? And I had and I had sorry, I had cost of sales as 10, right? And I'd overstated the opening stock figure. 10 from 20 would have given me 10. So if I put it at the correct amount, which is 8, that'll give me a net profit of this. So if opening stock was overstated, the effect on net profit, if I'd used this overstated amount, is that I would have, you're right, increase 1500 B. Very good. Everybody okay with that? You represent your opening, your net profit at a higher value than it ought to be. Everybody alright with that? Drop a 1 if you're okay with that one. You understand that? Everybody else okay? B is the right answer, yeah. Increase by 1500. Like overstating the opening stock figure, that's what it's showing here. If the correct amount should have been 8 for cost of goods sold, remember opening stock here will be added inside of this. If I overstated opening stock, then my cost of goods sold figure will be more than it needs to be. Yeah? 17. Which of the following contracts must be evidenced in writing? This is an easy one. You all know this. Yep, purchase of a lot of land. Land has to have a deed. 18. If Albert fraudulently represents himself to be John and induces Peter to make a contract with him, the contract is? Is what? Void, yep, that's correct. 19. Which of the following is an example of extractive production? Extractive, yep, correct. Agriculture, very good. 20. Which of the following practices may be most appropriate in solving the unemployment problem in developing countries where the labor force is large? What we have for this one? Which of the following practices may be most appropriate in solving unemployment problem in developing countries where the labor force is large? Right, increased mechanization wouldn't do that. Increasing vocational training, yes. Right. Greater production through increased labor. 1 and 3. B. I now realize usually as we send the link, it's the same link every weekend. I didn't send it. I was in the room and then Cristiano and Shania was in there, so sorry, I now realize. I was wondering why nobody in class. Okay, just 1 sec. Let me just send that over in the group. One second, guys. Let me just send this out to everybody again. All right, I just sent it over there. Okay, moving forward. 21. Wealth set aside for the production of future wealth is termed what? Future wealth. Wealth set aside for future wealth is capital. Yep, C. 22. What is the most likely effect on the developing economy when professional and skilled labor migrate to developing countries? What happens there? The production levels of goods and services will decrease. That's correct. Sorry about that, guys. I came in the room early this morning, and it's the same link every week. When I schedule it, what I do is let's see if I can just show you quickly. It's the same link, and I schedule it reoccurring each week. So you all could see it reoccurs. It's the same link over and over and over. So when I send the one invitation request to you guys, that's the same link you would continuously use throughout the sessions. I was in I was in the room and Shania and Christiana was in there early, and then I ended up waiting. It slipped my as usually send it back in the morning. Sorry about that. That's alright, we'll push through. So we just do one paper so far, 2016, and we're just gonna push through for the rest of 2 hours. We'll probably do a little more as you guys come in a little late, and we'll see how many papers we wrap up. Shania, right, 22. What is the most likely effect on the developing economy when professional and skilled labor migrate to developing countries? Well, if they leave, the production levels of goods and services will decrease because you're losing your skilled labor. People, you're gonna have a learning curve for people to get um skilled, or they may have challenges in doing it as good as a skilled labor would have done before, right? Yeah, so it'll decrease in our country, that's correct. Production levels will drop. I mean, it's the most appropriate answer to those that was given. And I was really wondering how come nobody in class says well, it's just sleeping late today. I'm so sorry. 23. Movement of educated, skilled people to settle in other industrialized countries. What we call that? Everybody hear me? Yep, that's correct. D, brain drain. Right? 24. The holding of jobs which employees are overqualified. What do we call that one? Our one is C, underemployment. Right? You might see a lot of that, so many people getting displaced from jobs and stuff. You'd have to take up work that's available, might not necessarily be in your field. 25. Which of the following is the simplest form of production? Right? You have three different scales. This one is subsistence, and then after that is domestic, and then surplus and export. Right? So that's the three forms of production. Subsistence being the simplest. 26. Primary production is concerned with the what? Primary production, provision of raw materials. Yeah. 27. A bulk increase in industry should be cited near its what? Bulk increasing means as you go through the production process, it gets bigger or heavier. So you need it close to what? Raw materials. That's right. Very good. 28. Which of the following practices do not result from mechanization? Do not result from mechanization. Yes, that's correct. If you're mechanizing, you're automating stuff, you're not going to need more people for manual labor. Trying to eliminate that. Yeah? Trying to automate the process. 29. The advantages which a firm may achieve by significantly increasing the size of its output are known as economies of scale. Very good. 30. Which of the following describes capital intensive industries? Large amounts of capital and very, very good. 30A. 31. A country has a favorable balance of trade when? Very good. Exports more than it imports. 32. A company wishes to introduce a new breakfast cereal aimed particularly at small children. Which techniques of advertising are likely to make the children ask their parents to buy cereal? Yep. What are we going to have for this one? Kids. Brightly colored boxes. Enclose free gifts. Compose attractive jingles. And have them play regularly on the radio. Yeah? Correct answer for this one, B. 3, 4, and 2. We try to mix it up to confuse you there. Yeah? 33. Which of the following activities carried out in a firm will not be under the supervision of the marketing manager? What would the marketing manager not be responsible for? That's correct. Purchasing. That's for the purchasing manager, right? 34. Which of the following is an example of a cottage industry? Cottage industry is something happening at home. A small business or micro business. So which one would be most appropriate given that definition? A, correct. Making cabbage baskets at home for sale. It's a cottage industry. 35. Which of the following is responsible for breaking bulk? Let's break bulk. Yep, retailer. Very good. 36. Before exporter B sent goods to importer A, he insured the consignment and paid the captain of the vessel the charge for carriage. The goods were shipped. D. CIF. Right. You also are sending notes on that, right? So take a look at it. Bill of lading, CIF, and FOBs inside of there. Right. He's paying for everything before it was shipped. If an exporter quotes prices CIF, it means that what is happening? Who's paying for what? The exporter pays for insurance and freight. Yeah, CIF, insurance, the exporter pays for that. 38. If you were not sure of a customer's ability to pay for an order, by which of the following means would you request payment? You're not sure the person gonna pay. So promissory note is definitely out. You can't take that man with fit at all. So anything with 4 is wrong. Right? So you left with 2. A cross check, a money order, a bank draft. Right? Well, a cross check, he could write a cross check and that could bounce. Right? We don't know for certain that there's money inside of that. 37. 37 is C. Exporter pays insurance and freight. When he's shipping goods CIF, the exporter is paid for the insurance and freight. For 38, the answer will be 2 and 3. C. So both 38 and 37 is C. Yeah. Very good with that so far. Let's move forward. The document above may be described as 3 months after date, pay to me or my order the sum of $1,000. This is a promissory note. Number 37. A promissory note because he doesn't have you know that he's not good for it, meaning that you're unsure of his ability to pay. If you know somebody have a track record of not paying a bill, right? A promissory note is basically a piece of paper that we exchange. Sorry. And the piece of paper would read exactly like this in the other question. Right? It says exactly what we see in here. 3 months after this date, pay to me or to my order the sum of $1,000, and you sign it and I sign it, right? It's not binding. You're not sure to get that money. You already just say that the person have problems paying. So a promissory note wouldn't be something that you'll accept from somebody with a track record of having payment problems. You'll want something where you know your money is sure. The money order, to get a money order, you have to go to the bank and buy the money order. So you have to have money to purchase it. So when you bring that money order to me, I know it's good, right? Because it's coming from the bank. You had to have had money to get this from the bank. The same thing is with a bank draft. A bank draft or a manager's check. That's a check that the bank issues, right? And that's what most forms of business, depending on the type of transaction. Like for instance, if I go to buy a car, right? A car is 250,000. The bank not gonna give me $250,000 in cash. And if I go to a dealer to purchase a car and I write a personal check for 250,000, they will not take that because there's no guarantee for them to know that your account has $250,000 in it. So they will ask for a manager's check. Money order was a thing of the past. I don't know if you would still get money orders around. But a manager's check required me to go to the bank and provide that $250,000 to the bank in order for them to write this check out, right? Is actually type it out, and I could use that now to make payments. So that's a sure way of getting money. If I'm taking a payment in a large amount, I will request a manager's check because I know that's good. I get a manager's check. I go to the bank that issues the manager's check, and I will get my money. Like, this is no question about that. But promissory note, I mean, you know what they say, a promise is a comfort to a fool, right? So that's why that one would work. So we okay with 39? The document above is described as a promissory note, so it leads from the question that we had. And 40, Mr. Free in the document is referred to as the, so Mr. Free is the person that's going to, it says to J Free, and it also says accepted by J Free. Free, he's the person that has to pay, he's the payer. Yeah, D, payer. So 40 is D, payer. All right. 41. Tom invests his savings by buying shares in a company. From this investment, Tom expects to receive what? What would Tom expect to receive? Yep, dividends. Very good. 42. A court order requiring an employer to deduct money from an employee for payment of his debt is known as a, this one is a garnishment. Right? This is a court order. Demand doesn't make sense. Withdrawal is if I go to take money out of my account. Revenue is another word for sales or income coming in. Right? So a court order requiring an employer to take out money from the employee is called a garnishment. Very good. 45. Tax paid on wages and salaries. What is that? Income tax, corporate tax, excise duty, custom duty. This one is A. Income tax. It says wages and salaries. What about tax paid by companies? Companies are corporations, right? So tax paid by companies are B. Corporation taxes. And what about this last one? Tax paid on goods entering the country. What's that one? Tax paid on goods entering the country. Yep. D. Custom duty. Very good. 48. What percentage? 43. Where is that? It was up on top. 43. Which of the following types of insurance is government likely to require each employed individual to pay? Type of insurance. Yep, national insurance. That's correct. 44. Which of the following is the most important use of collateral security? To who? To the borrower. Right? I just pay attention to these because there's one with the lender and one with the borrower. Right? And you see they put back the same answer here. So if you're not reading properly and you're going through, especially when you're going to exams and you have so much repeats, make sure and take your time to read and double check your answer. Right, correct answer. Yes, sir, we should. That's right. D, improves the borrower's chance of getting a loan. Right, because the lender could feel a bit more secure. They have security there. He knows that if I don't get this money from this guy, I will take what he has. Right? Do not go into that one. 45. The group below consists of blah 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 blah, four-lettered phrases, right? We was looking at this before. Tax paid on wages and salaries. Tax paid on wages and salaries, that's income tax. Right? Tax paid by companies, that's corporation tax. Companies are corporations. Right? Tax paid on goods entering a country is custom duties. Custom duty. Yeah, good there, Shania. Yeah, good. Nice. 48. What percentage of tax is to be paid to Lulene if she sells a building for a profit of 1.5 mil? Right? Now, in these type of real estate situations, they pay something called capital gains taxes. You know, you buy a building, you sell it over, and you make a profit. On that profit, you have to pay taxes. Because remember, You know, it's a kind of any kind of income you get legally, you're supposed to pay taxes on it, right? The government is get a bit of anything that I own. I mean, most of the time, right? So 12% of her 1.5 million. So correct answer B. Good job, Avisha. 49. We have a demand and supply graph, right? Using the information from the diagram above, which of the following statements can be deduced? Right, this is about potatoes. So important to note when you're doing a question like this. This is the kgs increasing this way, right? So this is we're buying more potatoes here and price is going up here, right? So let's look at some key areas on this graph. At this point here, right, the demand, look at where demand is. Demand is low, right? This is the amount in kgs. This is a low amount of kgs. And while demand is low, why the demand is low is because the price is high. Look at where price is. Look at the situation here, right? Demand here is very high. How high the demand is? A lot of potatoes demanded at a low price. Make sense? So more potatoes are demanded at a lower price. Is that correct? Yes. Look at the amount of the demand in kgs and look at the price. So we're taking up. Fewer potatoes are supplied at a high price, right? So when the price is high, where's my tool? This is a high price up here. Fewer potatoes supplied. It doesn't look like that. And then here, when the price is low, sorry, when the amount supplied when the price is low, say, so this doesn't make sense. 4, fewer potatoes are demanded at a higher price. Yep, that makes sense, right? That was the first scenario that we had. Agreed? So what we have? Correct answer here. B, 1 and 4. More potatoes are demanded at a lower price, which is correct, and fewer potatoes are demanded at a higher price. Everybody okay with that? Drop a 1 if you are. Drop a 1 if you are fine with that one. Yeah, good, perfect. 50, let's get up to 50. Right, so you have these 4 options to choose from. Pure competition, pure monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. 50. Price is unaffected by the behavior of the individual buyer or the seller and is established for the entire industry. What's that? Buyers and sellers can't influence price. What are we talking about there? A, very good, Avisha. Pure competition. Right, that's correct. 51. The price allows the firm abnormal profit, though its marginal cost equals its marginal revenue. Abnormal profit. What's this one? Recession. Yep, a pure monopoly. Right. 52. Price equals the firm's average cost, marginal cost, and marginal revenue. Price equals the average cost, the marginal cost, and the marginal revenue. Monopolistic competition. Very good. It says your market structures, right? So pay attention to this one. This is a, I'll send this in the group after. And I'll probably put a note with each of them after explaining it, right? Each of these. I think I'd send now before. But in this question, this particular context. 53. If a Caribbean country should devalue its currency, it is most likely that what will happen? We was explained this before. If we devalue our currency, so we say, all right, one US is now worth 10 TT. What will happen? When you have to buy something off of Amazon, how much TT you gonna have to get it? Imports will become more expensive. But on the opposite side of things, our exports will become cheaper, right? So in the grand scheme of things, we will be more competitive. If we produce ketchup, right, and other countries could buy ketchup, they could get twice as much ketchup for the same amount of US spent. We'd be able to get more exports. So that's how that works. But then it'll make it equally hard for us if we import in a lot of stuff. So you have to be very self-sufficient if that's what you're gonna do. 54. Which of the following practices would not contribute to the economic development and growth of a community? And we know this one, this is a common one. Importation, increased importation of consumer goods. That wouldn't contribute, no? 55. International trade owes its origin to what? 55, yeah, B. Varying in the resources, varying resources of different regions. Not everywhere you're gonna have everything. So we trade what we have a lot of it, what we don't have a lot of. 56. Which of the following is the distinguishing characteristic of a low standard of living? Living in unhealthy conditions. Um, what about the short life expectancy? Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. Because short life expectancy doesn't necessarily have to be because of a low living standards. I mean, it could have health problems or something there, right? You could actually be very affluent, and because of the lavish living and the things they eat, it could be have a much shorter life expectancy due to gluttony. So you're right. Unhealthy conditions would be a better option. Very good. D for this one, right? Because low standard of living, you're not producing enough, so you wouldn't be able to spend enough to keep conditions at a safe or standard level. 57. Which one is not quality of life? Short life expectancy. Yeah, that would be quality of life. You're correct. You're right. And primary school education and ill health, that would be quality of life. You're correct. 57. Most English speaking Caribbean territories are members of the following organization except. Well, I would say B because I mean OPEC is now organization of petroleum exporting countries. Um, I think we are like the only one. 56 is D, yeah. ECP, I'd Google this before. ECP is the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. So, yeah, there would be Caribbean territories in that. 56 is the year, correct. Shania. 56 was the Shania. 57 B OPEC because OPEC is organization of petroleum exporting countries and it's not true that most English speaking Caribbean territories Barbados doesn't produce oil. St. Lucia doesn't produce oil. St. Vincent doesn't produce oil. Grenada doesn't produce oil. Jamaica doesn't produce oil. All right, so B. Everybody all right to that one? Drop a one if you are. I'll move forward. CDB, I think, is Caribbean Development Bank. Let me just give you all the meanings of all of these. Caribbean Development Bank is CDP. Well, you know Caribbean. We know CARICOM. And well, I just tell you about OPEC. OPEC is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Yeah. Yeah. I think we are the only Caribbean country inside of there. Yeah, Saudi, Iran, Venezuela, Iraq, Libya, Nigeria, Indonesia, Algeria, Ecuador. You have Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Angola. Yeah, we're somewhere inside of there. But yeah, the other Caribbean countries won't be in there. Nice. So we're going up to ACP Association. Just now, let me see. I'll get back. ACP is the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. That's what ACP stands for. Right. Yeah. 58. What is the movement downward the curve known as? I remember this one. Decrease in demand? No. I think I'd send this in the group too, and I'll show you the contraction of demand and the extension of demand. Right, rise in prices results in the contraction of demand, and fall in prices results in the extension of demand. So this one showing a decrease in prices, a fall in prices, quantity, which direction prices going? Prices going down. So if prices going down, we saw that with the potatoes things just now. That means that demand going up, expanding. So there's extension of demand. Yeah. Extension is down. Contraction is up. You send it to me. I'll put it up here to show you. Everybody okay with that? Drop a one if you okay with that. You understand that? Okay, good. Everybody okay? If everybody okay, we move forward, right? Christiana, good. Avisha, Vanessa, Kristen, Alex, Shamila, Kyle. You all alright to this one, right? To move forward. 59. Which of the following features is a disadvantage of nationalization? Thanks, Shamila. Disadvantage of nationalization. Yeah, that's correct. When we nationalize something, it means anytime we have a loss there, that's a loss to the taxpayers. The taxpayers' money is what's gonna be absorbing all that loss. Yeah, that's like WASA. Or like Caribbean Airlines. Think of what's gonna happen with Caribbean Airlines now, eh? You're not gonna have people traveling to go on vacation here and there and fly to Miami every long weekend, and there's a serious situation there. All those airlines. 60. Which of the following are major economic problems facing many Caribbean countries today? C. Yeah. Let me say C with this one. Right. All of the above. Yeah. All right. We're pushing through. Going back up to recent paper 2015. Barter. Barter is best described as the 59. Let me just go back there quickly for scenario. C, yeah, 59 was C. Vanessa, barter, the exchange of goods and services without the use of money. That's correct. Very good. 1 in 2015. That's D. Very good. 2. Which of the following types of business environment is most typical of the Commonwealth Caribbean? We saw this already. This one is B. Mixed economy. 33. Which of the following is not an objective of the public sector? Which of the following is not an objective of the public sector? That's right, maximizing profit. They're not concerned with that. That's private sector stuff. 4. The term divisional labor can be defined as what? Separation of tasks to complete a job. Divisional labor. C. Very good. 5. Which of the following is not a function of money? Not a function of money. A. Indivisibility. Good. 6. The policies of a company are formulated by the who formulates policies. Directors. Very good. Right? Top level management. That's where the strategic decisions are made. 7. Selecting the objectives and the procedures for achieving goals is referred to as, what we call that? Planning. Right? 8. Which of the following are benefits of written communication? Written communication provides evidence, useful detailed messages. Useful for detailed messages. Yep, very good. C. Very good. 9. Which of the following organizations is least likely to use management information systems? Right? I don't think the shoe shine shop gonna use that, right? We need an inventory of people that come to shine their shoes. But who knows? Let's see things like that change as the years go by. 10. The relationship between the highest level of management down to the various levels, various departments is known as, is it line, rank, staff, or flow? Which is it? That's right, it's line, right? Staff is gonna be inside of a particular department, like the production manager to the production supervisor. 11. The main purpose of installing a suggestion box in a company is to get workers' views about each other. Nope. Ways of improving the workplace. 12. JB Auto Company decided to export car engines from Barbados to Trinidad. Which of the following modes is best for transporting engines? What we get for this one? C, right? I mean, you can't ship that by any other means. It's just ridiculous. 13. Which of the following individuals benefit from having limited liability status? Who benefits from this? The shareholder. They only stand to lose what they have invested in the shares. Right, so B for number 13 here. Right, which of the following are functions of the entrepreneur? Ensuring workers are unionized. That's not one, so anything with one is wrong. Left with C. C is our correct answer. Coordinating the factors of production, undertaking risk by anticipating demand. 15. The condensation of the business plan is contained in the executive summary. Cash used to secure a loan at the bank is referred to as collateral. 17. The monthly payments collected by an insurance company on behalf of its policyholders are called premiums. Premiums, as the term now we use for the insurance payments. Which of the following types of checks allows an individual to receive cash on demand, right, immediately? That's an open check, right? The certified check and the banker's check is the same thing. As I was explaining to you earlier on, right? These are a guaranteed form of payment, right? This gives cash on demand, meaning that you could negotiate the check as soon as you get it, providing that there's no errors, there aren't any errors on the check, and there's money available in the account to negotiate the check, right? So it's not guaranteed. It allows cash on demand if cash is there, but it's not guaranteed. A certified check or a banker's check, synonym, mean the same thing. Those are guaranteed because the person has to go to the bank and provide and present the money to get the check in that amount. So if I want a banker's check for $1,000, I have to go to the bank with $1,000 and probably $15 to pay them to do it, and I will get that check. If I give that check to Avisha, Avisha knows for certain that that check can't bounce. She go to her bankers with it, they will take it, and she can get that 15,000. If I write a personal check and I leave it open and I give it to her, I could write a check for 10,000, but if I have $1,000 in my account now, what would happen there? Check would bounce. So it's not guaranteed. 29. Kiki sustained burns while at work at a local fast food restaurant. Under which of the following insurance policies is she likely to be compensated? Right, this is work related. So this is employer's liability, D. Very good. 19, going up to 20. Which of the following factors prevents an agreement from being considered a valid contract? Right, this is an easy one. This one is misrepresentation. Right, contract becomes void. 21. The term human resources, another favorite one, right? Not materials and goods made by humans. It is the persons available for the productive and professional services. Yeah. 22. The movement of educated, skilled people to settle in other industrialized countries is referred to as brain drain. Yep, that's correct. 23. The amount of labor available for productive activity is known as, what was known as? B, yeah, correct, labor force. Good. 24. Productivity can be measured by outputs over inputs. Good. 25. Which of the following is a product of the manufacturing industry? Cars. Yep. 26. Product, price, promotion, and place are all components of the marketing mix. 27. In the Caribbean, many people are hired for sugarcane farming and very little equipment is used. The industry can best be described as labor intensive. Right, you're using plenty people. 28. Which of the following terms describes a market consisting of a large number of producers and consumers? Yeah, first one. Yep, perfect market. Large numbers of buyers and sellers. Nobody that could influence price directly. 29. Which of the following is an activity involved in marketing a product? This is another common one, distributing commodities to outlets, marketing it. It's like those people who doing merchandising and going on packing shelves and stuff in groceries. 30. Market equilibrium exists when at current prices the amount buyers wish to buy equals the amount sellers wish to sell. Very good. 31. Which of the following is not a function of the retailer? Another common one, transporting goods to suitable storage facilities. Very good. 32. Which of the following gives identity to a specific producer's goods? Be careful with this one. Brand. Very good. 38. A market in economic terms is defined as, you saw this earlier, D. Yep, a situation which exists when buyers and sellers influence the price of goods. 34. Which of the following operations is an example of a sales promotion? We have warehousing, free sampling, servicing goods, gathering information. Correct answer here, free sampling. Like when you go Price Mart, it's unlike to do that. Go Price Mart when it have samples. So I don't know that anymore though. Well, that done. 35. Which of the following entities can have its shares traded on the stock exchange? Right, you must be a public company in order to trade your stock on the stock exchange. Right, must be a public company. 36. Tom invests his savings by buying shares in a company. From this investment, Tom expects to receive dividends. Good. 37. Mr. Jones has several bills of fixed amounts to pay each month. His bank manager agreed to pay them monthly from Mr. Jones's account. This service provided by the bank refers to standing orders. From the time you see this fixed amount thing, right? Pay each month, bank, you know that is standing orders. Which of the following services is provided by commercial banks? What do commercial banks do? Yep, they do that. They accept deposits from customers. 39. A debenture holder is one who debenture holders is somebody that lends money to the business in the form of debentures. So they are entitled to this fixed rate of interest whether or not the company makes a profit. The bank doesn't want to know whether or not I get paid at the end of the month. Right? I have a loan, I have an obligation with them, and you have to pay them that money and that interest. Right? And the debenture holder is like kind of like a bank lending the business money. Difference here is the company would have set the terms or interest, how much the interest would have been on the debenture, and then you decide whether or not you want to purchase the debentures. The debentures will give you ownership though. 40. Investment can be defined as, so it's just now, additions to the capital stock of a country. Very good, Vanessa, Alex, Alicia. All good answers. 41. Which of the following are measures used to protect the environment? Recycling, deforestation, water conservation. Be careful with the words so they don't confuse you. That's correct. Good job, Vanessa. 1 and 3. 42. A price control. Control keyword here may be defined as D. That's good. Very good, Vanessa. Government limit on the price of goods or services. 43. The success of a government's economic policy can be most effectively measured by Well, standard of living. It's an economic indicator. 44. Which of the following is a function of the Chamber of Commerce? Remember I was telling you about that, the Chamber of Commerce in Trinidad. They help in securing markets for producers. Places for them to sell their product. Companies do that because they know when they get their local producers to sell products, they earn foreign exchange for the country. They contributing to the GDP. Which of the following actions by government is most likely to lead to improvement in the standard of living? To improve the standard of living, now it'll be D. If it gives tax incentives to businesses, right? The businesses, depending type of tax incentives, it's just to produce more. They get them to produce more, the businesses get a tax break, and then they can use that money now. Sorry, they could use that money now to expand, to do more capital investment type stuff, right? And that's going to help to increase production and increase the overall standard of living. Yeah? So D for this one. 46. Which of the following forms of taxation can be classified as direct? Income tax is direct because you can't transfer it. All the others are indirect. 47. The provision of social services by government does not include what? Tax refunds? Yep, that's a reasonable answer. Social services include education and training, transportation facilities, and health clinics. Your hospitals, your schools, PTSC, and even additional training after schools. 48. In the recent budget, it was reported that Sanford Island is a net importer. This means that it's net importer, means that you have more imports than exports, or your exports are less than your imports. Does this make sense to everyone? 49. A country, has a favorable balance of trade when it sells more than it buys. 50. In calculating net national product, depreciation refers to the decrease in capital stock. 51. The terms of trade of a country refers to the rate terms of trade. D. That's correct. The rate at which one country's goods and services are exchanged for another. 52. The difference between the value of a country's visible and invisible exports and the value of its visible and invisible imports is referred to as the what? Balance of trade. Right? Visible. Good. 53. Which of the following methods is not used to measure a country's national income? You could track national income using output, input, and expenditure, but not accounting. Accounting doesn't make sense there. Right, going back up. 54. Which of the following is not a benefit of international trade? This one will be C. Import restrictions can be imposed on foreign items. That doesn't sound beneficial, yeah? You tell from the ring of that. 55. Which of the following represents the correct stages towards the development of the CARICOM single market and economy? Remember, I was explaining that earlier on. The CSME is where we are at right now. Initially, we had the Federation, then there was CARIFTA, then CARICOM, and now we have CSME. Yeah? Everybody okay with that? 56. Which of the following is a feature of economic dualism in the Caribbean? Rural to urban. Rural is the countryside. Urban is the cities. And we talk about economic dualism as the one area being technologically advanced and the other being technologically retarded. So that rural-urban migration is a characteristic or feature of economic dualism. 57. Which of the following terms defines a continuous rise in the general level of prices? Yep, that's inflation. Very good. Next, we have which of the following countries are not members of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States? So geography, if you do a bit of geography. Correct answer there is B, Barbados and Jamaica. And 59, what's the purpose of the CARICOM? Purpose of the CARICOM. Here you want interregional trade and common services. And 60, which of the following organizations would settle a dispute among banana-producing countries of the Caribbean and Central America over preferential agreements with the European Union? World Trade Organization. Excellent, very good. All right, we're gonna do another. So this one is June 2008. All right, one sec. Let me pause the recording. Right, so we're going with June 2008. Which of the following is not a function of money? A, indivisibility. Seen this before. 2, in a competitive market situation, which of the following is least likely to influence consumer demand? Brand loyalty. Yeah. Competitive market situation. Homogeneous goods and services. Right? Nobody being able to influence price. So brand loyalty. 3, subsidized meals for employees would fall under which of the following categories? Fringe benefits. A. Oh, wait, and I was saying Vanessa message. If I could repeat the answers from 32 to 37. I was on 2015. Sure, no problem. 32. 32 was which of the following gives identity to a specific producer's goods? This one would have been brand, market situation. A market in economic terms is a situation which exists when buyers and sellers influence the price of goods. D for 33. 34. Which of the following operations is an example of a sales promotion? Free sampling, the example of sales promotion. 35. Which of the following entities can have its shares traded on the stock exchange? Public companies. 36. Tom invests his savings by buying shares in a company. From this investment, Tom expects to receive dividends. Right? And last one, 37. Mr. Jones has several bills of fixed amounts to pay each month. His bank manager agreed to pay them monthly from Mr. Jones's account. Right? The service provided by the bank is called standing orders. Yeah. So going back to the 2008, right? So far for 2008, number one, not a function of money in the visibility. Number two, in a competitive market situation, which of the following is least likely to influence consumer demand? I said brand loyalty here. In a competitive market situation, you have homogeneous goods, meaning that they're all the same. No problem, Vanessa. Three, subsidized meals for employees would fall under which of the following categories? And that'll be fringe benefits. Yeah. Private enterprise is run mainly to provide jobs? No. Create profits to the owners. D. Right? Five, which of the following are functions of a business unit? Production of goods and services, maximization of sales, creation of jobs, education of workers is for the HR department. So my answer here is A. Good. 6. Which of the following is least likely to result from the growth in an organization? We said for this will be increased communication. Yeah. 7. Which of the following characteristics of the sole trader form of business enterprise is not advantageous to the owner? And not advantageous to the owner is he or she has unlimited liability, right? They could lose their personal assets. Unlike the shareholder, whose liability is limited to just the shares, our sole trader could lose their personal assets as well. Oops. The main purpose of installing a suggestion box in a company is to get workers' views about ways of improving the office or workplace. 9. In a public company, the losses are borne by the public company here. So our shareholders are stand to gain from profits and to also lose from the losses. 10. Which of the following is most likely to occur when a member of a partnership dies? The business would be closed down. Kristen, what was the answer for number 5? For number 5, the functions of our business unit is everything except the education of workers. So 1, 2, and 3. A. Yeah, you're right with that, Kristen? Right, please feel free to stop me at any time, guys. That's no problem. You good there, Kristen? Yeah? Good, move on. Nice. Are we good for 10, right, guys? Somebody dies in the partnership. You have to close it down and reopen. It's not that the business itself closing down, eh? It's just you have to go to the to legal affairs and there's documents to fill out if a partner in a partnership dies, and then you have to re-register the partnership now with the new people in the agreement, because the partnership is like a contract, it's an agreement, right? So if one of the partners dies, the contract actually becomes void. It's kind of this, well, not, yes, void, discharge is ended, let's just say that. So you have to renegotiate or you have to do a new contract. 11. In a firm with a departmentalized structure, meaning departments, right? Which department performs the 4 duties listed below? Receiving goods, reporting on quality of goods, applying the principle of costing, keeping an inventory. Correct answer is B, purchasing. There's no department called stock control, right? So we'll go with that as answer. 12. Profits may not be the main objective of our business, which is This is one a lot of people is be a bit confused with. If I am increasing the salaries of my directors, that means I'm loaded. Yeah, have money. Profit is not a problem for me. Everything else here screams that you are looking at profit. I'm looking at profit here. If I'm trying to find cheaper goods, materials, I'm looking at profit here. If it is I want to increase the price of goods and services. If I'm expanding the factory, I'm looking at gaining additional profit. So only B would be activity or objective of a business that doesn't really have profit on their mind. Profit is no problem. 13. An entrepreneur may reduce his risk of loss by doing what? Planning ahead. Right? Anybody could reduce their risk or loss by planning ahead. You don't eliminate it, you would just reduce it because you put contingencies in place. If X happens, we do Y. 14. Cash used to secure a loan at the bank is referred to as collateral. Right? 15. Where's 15? The condensation of a business plan is contained in the executive summary. Right? You could look at that and you get a general idea of what the business is involved in, what they set up to do. Which of the following is not a feature of a business plan? It's tell us everything except which financial institutions we're gonna go to for funding. That's not a feature of a business plan, right? 17. Which of the following describes an essential feature of a valid contract? The offer has to be communicated to the offeree, offer has been made, offer has been accepted either in writing or already. D. Yep, very good. Good answer. 18. Which of the following are functions of management? Coordinating the work of the employees, delegating work to subordinates, controlling employees and raw materials, ensuring that workers join a trade union. Negative. Right? So everything except for C. 19. Which of the following factors prevents an agreement from being considered a valid contract? Right? B. Misrepresentation. Right? In this instance, the contract is void. 20. Which of the following situations would occur if a contract becomes void? The contract becomes void, everything is off. The prospective buyer does not become the owner. That is correct. And the seller must return any money or goods given to him by the prospective buyer for the transactions. They have to return that money. Yeah? C. 21. The money used for the day-to-day operations of a business is called D. Working capital. 22. The factor of production which earns interest is C. Capital. 23. Which of the following is a fixed asset? Right, a fixed asset has to be owned and generate income or revenue for you. Motor lorry for delivery of goods. 24. The term human resources refers to persons available for productive and professional services. That's correct. 25. The movement of educated, skilled people to settle in other industrialized countries is called B. Brain drain. Very good. 26. Which of the following is the best example of capital as a factor of production? C, machinery. Good. To which of the following industries does a firm involved in food processing belong? Food processing. I'm making kuchila. That's a manufacturing industry. 28. Which of the following can be described as a marketing activity? Right? Distributing commodities to outlets. Right? Like those distributors or merchandisers. All persons can be called consumers because they have wants. Right? A consumer is somebody that have a want. You know, you go in the grocery, see something you want. Around this time of the year and thing when you're getting ready for school, I still like to go and shop for stationery. So a kid. 30. Which of the following best describes the term loss leader? Right? Loss leader is a product that we're going to sell cheaply. Yep, that's correct. To attract customers. 31. Which of the following activities carried out in a firm will not be under the supervision of the marketing manager? Right? Marketing manager not concerned with purchasing. That's the purchasing manager's role. 32. Which of the following is least likely to be described as good public relations for a company? Right? Everything except C. Right? If you reduce the price to your retailers, that public really care about that. I'm not gonna seem as though this grand charitable gesture. 33. Which of the following is not a function of the retailer? Right? The retailer is not responsible for transporting goods to a suitable storage location or facility. 34. The variables of the marketing mix can be remembered by referring to the 4 P's, which are product, price, place, and promotion. A. Yeah, very good so far. 35. A court order requiring an employer to deduct money from an employee for payment of his debts is known as a garnishment. You saw that earlier. You see how they move it? Last time it was an E. Right, so make sure and just check those answers, read them through. 36. A post-dated check is one which dated for payment at a future date. D. Very good. 37. One of the major functions of the central bank is to issue notes and coins. 38. Monthly payments collected by an insurance company on behalf of its policy owners. You know this one. This one is premiums. Right. 39. Which of the following cannot be used as collateral for obtaining a loan from the financial institution? I think we see this one for the morning. Yes, so this is a mortgage home with insurance. This mortgage is already used as security. Right. So you can't use it a second time as collateral. 40. The most important use of collateral security to the lender, remember the last one we saw was borrower, right, is A, it can be sold if the borrower fails to pay. Nice. 41. A country will restrict importation of certain items in order to assist local industries, right, encourage use of local resources. So 1 and 3, B. The other 2 is out. 42. Governments can influence business activity positively by doing what? Taxes. Reduce the taxes. Give them a tax break. Give them some more money to spend. 43. Which of the following measures are used by government to redistribute income? PYE and national insurance. Yeah. Tax paid on wages and salaries is referred to as, or we refer to that as income tax. Nice. 45. Which of the following forms of taxation could be classified as direct? Direct means that it can't be transferred. It's going to be charged directly to you and only you, and you can't carry it forward. Income tax is an example of that. Very good. 46. Which of the following is included in the protection of the environment? Food legislation, no. Social insurance, no. Competition policy, no. Deforestation laws. Yeah? Yep. 47. Which of the following can be considered as incentives to industries? Right? The training of employees. Right? Increasing corporation tax wouldn't be an incentive. Increasing insurance premiums, gain as a cost. And even the devaluation of the local currency here, it make it more difficult if they need to import stuff. Right? 48. A country that has a favorable balance of trade when it sells more than it buys. 49. Which of the following practices would not contribute to the economic development and growth of a community? We saw this before. The increased importation of consumer goods. 50. To correct an adverse balance of payments, a government may increase its exports. 51. Which of the following are likely to affect the standard of living in a country? Right? Anything that's going to affect production, pollution, low literacy rate, high crime rate, not the advertisements. Right? So we're looking at 1, 2, and 3. C. 52. In national income accounting, students' grants and retirement pension are example of. These are transferred income. Yes, we take it by charging PAYE and NIS, and then we redistribute it now by providing things like gate funding, right, for students for tertiary expenses and for pension to the older folks, and any type of grants. All different type of grants. We had the grants it was given out recently because of the pandemic situation. All of that's transferred income. That's money that would have paid in taxes and NIS over years. 53. Which of the following indices is the best measure of economic growth of a country? Correct answer for this one is high standard of living. Right? Best measure. 54. The balance of payments account comprises of the current account, tells us total currency flow, right? Gross national income, not this official financing. So we're looking at 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. We have answered that. Yes, we do. Answer is C. 55. Which of the following are major economic problems facing Caribbean countries? High level of employment, adverse balance of payment, low productivity in manufacturing, lack of capital for investment. D. Yeah. 56. Which of the following methods may government use to reduce unemployment in the long run? Right? Deflation of the economy. Very good. Deflate the economy, you get more government spending, you get more contracts and tenders going out there, you get people employed. When you get people employed, the income's going to increase, the purchasing power and spending power will increase, and you get the economy going again. Yeah. 57. The following policies are barriers to international trade except one of them.
Quotas would be a barrier. Trade embargoes, that's like what they do with Cuba, and they restrict people from trading with that particular country. Custom duties, right? You have to pay that when they come in. If you have high custom duties, then people are gonna buy domestically instead of going and buy stuff from abroad. Subsidies is not gonna be a barrier, right? So that'll be my answer here. B. 58. The primary function of the Caribbean Basin Initiative is to give concession on, right, non-traditional products entering the U.S. market, right? That's the Caribbean Basin Initiative. Check it out. It's a one of those trade policies that the U.S. have with Caribbean countries where we could send our products to them. It must be non-traditional in the sense that it must not be competing directly with something that's been made in the U.S. And we're allowed to trade with the US markets and not pay, exorbitant duties and prices and stuff like that. Yeah. 59. Investment can be described as yes, additions to capital stock. Right. 60. Which of the following can be classified as benefits? As benefits of nationalization. Right. Nationalization is like WASA and TNTech. Right, they own those are state-owned companies. The profits remain in the country, right? Essential industries will be state-owned. Employment will be provided for the citizens, but they're owned by the government. They're not joint ownerships, right? So it's A, right? So you're going to do another have a half hour again. You want to push through to another. So far we did 2016, then we do 2002, 2015, 2008. I'm gonna get another one. Let me see. You want to do a more recent one or go back older? How about Jan 2019? Oh no, wait, that's paper 2. Sorry. We did 16, we didn't do 17. Let's do more recent, Shania says. Alright, let's do 17. Shania, have the 2019 by chance? 2020? Yeah, send it in the group now. Send it in the group and we do that one instead. Or we do both. Alright, let's call this one. June 2019. And we have Jan 2020. Nice man in the game. We'll do these two. We do 2019 first, right? Alright, so there you go. May, June 2019. Which of the following types of business environments is most typical of the Commonwealth Caribbean? Yes, and 2018 too, no?
Same thing, same thing. We will do them. B, mixed economy. Even if we do get all in this today, we would do our next session before the 24th, no? So 1B, mixed economy, right? 2, which of the following is not a function of money, right? Indivisibility. So everybody have this right? I'm running through and I'm answering. So make sure I'm taking notes. I think it's in both groups now. I forward it in both groups. Right, both groups. 3, a major function of the public sector is to public sector serve the entire population. Very good. 4, the legal responsibility of a sole proprietor to pay any money owed by the business is described as what's this one? Legal responsibility of a sole proprietor to pay money owed by the business. This is what I was talking about before. They have unlimited liability, right? Because if the business can't pay, they have to pay it. So it's their legal responsibility to pay any money owed by the business. Like, for instance, I'm registered as a sole trader. If I take a loan under the business name, right, and lessons bust, nobody wants to do no more lessons, God forbid, right? I would have to pay that out of my personal money, right? If I have some sort of asset that the bank could seize, they would seize it in order to get that money, right? So 4 is D. 5, private enterprise is run mainly to create profits. 6, selecting the objectives and the procedures for achieving goals is referred to as A, planning. Right. 7, which of the following positions will be best suited at X? Right, above the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, we would have the Board of Directors. Right. They're all 8, which of the following actions best describes an authoritarian leader? Willing to take suggestions, allow workers to plan their work, make decisions without consultation. Correct answer is C, decisions without consultation. 9, which of the following actions demonstrate the characteristic of a good leader? Inspires workers, yes. Delegate responsibility, yes. Make intelligent decisions, yes. D. Good. 10, sorry. Which of the following are benefits of written communication? Provides evidence and useful for detailed messages. 2 and 3 only. C. 11. Under which of the following categories would subsidize meals for employees fall? Fringe benefits. Alright, we've seen that already. Which of the following is a regulatory issue for entrepreneur? Seen this one already. Paying off national insurance to the government. Regulatory. 13. Cash used to secure a loan at the bank is referred to as A, collateral. 14. The condensed version of a business plan is contained in the
Executive summary. 15. An analysis of the viability of a business idea and an examination of the different aspects of operating a business is known as a, what's this one? This is a new one, feasibility study. 16. An entrepreneur may reduce his risk of loss by planning ahead. 17. Melissa, a teenager, wanted to earn extra income. She was offered to wash cars at $10. Miss Hines brought her car to be washed. Melissa washed the car and Miss Hines paid her $15. What type of contract is demonstrated in the case above? A simple contract, yeah? Very good. 18. A contract may be discharged by, we talked about this earlier, by breach, right? Discharge would mean come to end, complete, right? So it could be breach, performance, lapse of time. The misappropriation is when a contract is voided, right? 19. Which of the following factors prevent an agreement from being considered a valid contract? As we just talked about it. Misrepresentation. It wouldn't be valid if you have misrepresented information in it. Yeah. 20. The monthly payments made to insurance company by its policyholders are known as B. Premiums. 21. Which of the following conditions would constitute a linkage between two industries? Output of one industry of the economy becomes the input of another. Very good. 22. Which of the following types of capital is used for day-to-day operations of a business? C. Working capital. Good. 23. To which of the following industries does a firm involved in food processing belong? Food processing is D. Manufacturing. Which of the following results is least likely to occur from growth in an organization? Correct answer, C. Increased communication. Very good. 25. Productivity can be measured by outputs over inputs. D. Right, not too bad so far. Just one or two that we didn't see before. 26. Which of the following businesses may best be classified as a cottage industry? Cottage industry, Mary Craft Supplies located at home. 27. The amount of labor available for productive activities known as labor force. B. 28. The best medium of advertising for an area with high vehicular traffic is? Which one? High vehicular traffic. We park up on the road. Well, now we have the digital billboards, right? 6. You had to update the answers. Posters is the correct answer for this one. Yeah. They get up to the times. 29. The term loss leader is best described as a product which sold cheaply to attract customers. D. 30. Product, price, promotion, and place are components of the marketing mix. B. 31. A situation where business gains editorial space without having to pay for it is called publicity. Which of the following is or are not a terms of sale? Right? Cashes, creditors, hire purchases, shares is not. 33. Which of the following gives identity to a specific producer's goods? D. Brand. 34. Which of the following factors is least likely to influence consumer behavior? D. Place of residence. Sure, that doesn't. Least likely out of all of them. Which of the following documents shows ownership of imported goods? Yep, that's correct. A. Bill of lading. You'd see it in the handout that I sent in the groups today. John operates a shop in his community. He buys goods in bulk from a nearby supermarket and sells them in small quantities to his customers. John will be referred to as a retailer, right? He break in bulk. 37. Investment can be defined as additions to the capital stock of a country. Right? Logistics in a business, new one, is defined as managing data from conception, production, and storage and retrieval, using all systems to move an idea from conception to that. Formulating business ideas systematically, gathering, managing resources from the point of acquisition, storage, and transportation to their final destination. Yeah, you remember I was telling you about this? This is our new field, logistics and supply chain management. Not so new, I mean last couple of years, but this is a nice specialism in business now. You know, because I mean you can do general business and then inside of there you have your finance and you have your marketing, you have HR, right? This is one that is very popular and you have a lot of jobs in right now. There's a qualification, what do they call it? Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply, I think is the name of it. Like how we have ACCA for accounts. So this is a professional body that does qualifications that are just specific to logistics and supply chain management. Yeah. Some general info. 39. JB Auto Company decided to export car engines from Barbados to Trinidad. Which of the following methods is best suited for transporting the engines? Right, you said already. C. C is correct. 40. A stock market is identified with risk and benefits. 41. Which of the following is the final step in a supply chain operation? So transformation of natural resources into finished products, movement to and storage of raw materials in a warehouse, processing of raw materials and components into finished goods, delivering the finished product from point of origin to point of the destination. D. Supply chain operation. Sorry, it's not finished product, my bad. We're dealing with supply chain here. So this is your raw materials, right? You're looking at the movement to and storage of raw materials into your warehouse, right? That's what your logistics and supply chain management is supposed to do. You're basically looking at on the supply chain side, you're looking at, you know, how efficiently you can get your raw materials in efficiently here in terms of time, the expenditure in terms of your resources, no wastage, no losses, no damages. Yeah. Supply chain operation. 42. A global positioning system, GPS, provides what? Firms with the capability to manage their inventories and reduce expenses. No. Satellite tracking services that can be used in commercial and personal applications. All right. Saving options to provide to firms to increase the efficiency and management of information systems. Nope. Simulation services to help designers avoid waste by creating models. Nope. Correct answer here is B. satellite tracking services that can be used in commercial and personal applications. Right? You could track a package as a Kiss has and those type of holiday food something. They have GPS in their vans that do deliveries. So if they know they send on a truck on a route to go and drop off at all the groceries and thing in South, they would know which groceries you go to, or they would know if, all right, see how much trucks you have out there and who is the closest one to this particular customer. Send that truck there instead. Right? GPS. 43. Mr. Jones has several bills of fixed amounts to pay each month. Mr. Jones made arrangements with the bank to make these monthly payments from his account. The service provided by the bank is a standing order. So the served. 44. Which of the following forms of taxation will be considered direct? Direct taxes is your income tax. A debenture holder is one who is entitled to a fixed rate of interest whether or not the company makes a profit. 46. Governments offer subsidies to increase the price of imported goods, increase costs and ultimately prices, reduce costs and ultimately prices, force them to pay corporation tax. The purpose of the subsidies is to reduce costs and ultimately the end price to the consumer. 46 is C. 47. One of the major functions of the central bank is to issue notes and coins. Yeah. 48. Which of the following is not a source of income for individual who engages in personal budgeting? Not a source of income. Salaries earned, loan repayment, interest from savings, dividends from investments. So you're looking for a source of income, right? Salaries is a source of income, that's correct. Interest on savings is a source of income. Dividends from investments is a source of income. Loan prepayment, that is not a source of income. Yeah? $49. The central bank is owned and controlled by who? Well, none of these, all of these would be wrong. It's owned and pretty much, yes, controlled by the government. The government's bank. 50. Education contributes to economic growth by ensuring that the workforce is highly, we should remember this one, efficient. Yeah. 51. The success of a government's economic policy can be most effectively measured by an increase in the standard of living. Oops. Which of the following measures are used by governments to redistribute income? PAYE and national insurance. Yep, that's right. 53. The buying and selling of goods and services among countries is called international trade. B, international trade. There's my 2, right, here it is. Alright. 54. Which of the following measures can be considered as incentives to industries? Right, an incentive to industry would be A, training of their employees. Yeah. 55. The term economic dualism defines an economy in which one sector is technologically advanced as correct and the other is technologically retarded. 56. Which of the following measures are used to protect the environment? We saw this one before, recycling and water conservation, 1 and 3, B. 57. The main purpose of CARICOM is to foster inter-regional trade and common services, B. Right. 58. Price control. What's a price control? Price control. Government limit on the price of goods or services. Yeah? Very good. Which of the following, when increased, would not contribute to the improved standard of living? Yeah, country's population now increases. They have a bigger denominator to divide resources by, income by. And 60, which of the following organizations would settle a dispute among banana producing countries of the Caribbean and Central America over preferential agreements with the European Union? RBE, World Trade Organization. Right, so not bad. How y'all doing there? We could tackle 2020 one time. What do you think? What are you feeling? Some more energy. Yeah, Kyle up fit. Who else up fit? Alright, you're up fit. Nice. Alright, give me 1 minute. Let me just run away quickly and come back and we start. Just a minute, right? 1 sec.